As you've seen, I made side skirt extensions for my R34. If you haven't seen that video yet, feel free to check that out in the cards or in the description below. The next step is to make fitting rear bumper extensions. I really like the Hasemi extensions, but I'd really like them to be improved to fit the overall looks I'm going for. So how do I start? I've been wanting to give photogrammetry a shot for quite a while now. Let's see how that went. Photogrammetry is a method that stitches together a 3D model through a collection of pictures. You simply walk around the object and take pictures in many different angles. What I did is walk around in circles and change the height at which I'm taking the pictures after every completed circle. I ended up with around 90 pictures of the Hasemi rear bumper extensions, so hopefully the program could model it up. For photogrammetry, Meshroom is the application of choice here, or at least the only one I know. I simply imported the folder with all the pictures into Meshroom and ran a modeling overnight, hoping it would turn it into a nice model. In Meshroom itself you can see all the camera positions you have taken pretty much, and with all the pictures taken, it will try to remodel it. However, things didn't turn out quite the way I thought. It seems photogrammetry doesn't handle carbon very well, meaning I was left with a pixelated mess. I reckon I should have used blue painter's tape on the surface to make it more of a texture Meshroom can pick up on. As it didn't work out as I hoped it would, in order to not waste too much time, since a single remodel in Meshroom runs a full 10 hours on my PC without me being able to use it for anything else, I decided to model something up from scratch, again based on all the dimensions available to me. We will revisit photogrammetry at a later stage. I uninstalled the rear bumper to be able to take measurements and pictures, which I then imported into Fusion 360 to be able to model something up. I simply taped off the bumper, measured and drew the lines where I'd like the extensions to meet the bumper, and made pictures before transferring the tape onto cardboard. I printed out several test pieces to see how close I was with my design, making small improvements every time. After printing a couple of long sections, I moved on to printing smaller segments so I would get the details right. With every iteration I came closer to a perfect fit. This design incorporates all the elements that were important to me and again strikes a nice balance between the Hasemi rear extensions and the Nismo ones, while at the same time complementing the original body lines as well as the side skirt extensions I've built. As usual, I printed everything in PETG on my ND3 V2. I had to split up the extension into 3 parts for it to fit on my print bed. These are low in fill prints, so I will want to coat them with a hard surface like I did with the side skirt extensions. I glued them together with epoxy and then skinned the entire piece with a thin glass fiber layer. Beyond that, it was a ton of sanding, adding more epoxy and sanding again. So here we have the final result. Remember, these are just prototypes for the moment. As they are right now, they are following the bumper lines quite nicely, especially when compared to the Nismo style ones, and they have also a way more aggressive vibe. They're just clamped on for the moment, but when they go on for real, I'll put a nice silicone seam on it where it meets the bumper. I'm not 100% if this will be the final form, but I have a couple more tweaks in mind to improve the overall look. I don't have any fancy B-roll for you this time, but you'll get that next time when I'm putting the entire rear end back together. I hope you like seeing the process behind making a simple piece like this, and hopefully inspires you to start creating things yourself. If you want to see more like this, don't forget to subscribe, and I see you next time. Bye.